Don't you remember when Cardi B was pandering to Joe Biden, talking about how she loves him and how she's going to vote for him and how she don't like Trump and all this? Well, we have this video from her recently. She was on Instagram Live complaining again about what's going on with the Democrats. And it just seems that people like Michael Rapaport and other people are coming to the realization that Biden is a horrible president. And now they want to essentially consider voting for Trump. And it is really crazy because now they're finally realizing, these people are just total simps when it comes to information. They only care about self-gratification. They don't understand facts or reality or the fact that human nature tends to go into chaos unless it's checked and regulated. And that is typically based on a moral standard when it comes to America to keep things in check. That's why we are a republic. Anyway, with Cardi B, here we have this video that I'm going to react to. I haven't seen all of it, but she's ranting, and I will comment as we go through. Let's check this guy out.
I'm angry. I need y'all to spread this video. And if something happens to me, it's because I'm speaking truth. So God forbid something happens to me or my family or something, is because it's after me, because I'm speaking the truth. And here's the truth, right?
Man, Cardi B is so...
In New York, there is a $120 million budget cut. There's a $120 million budget cut in New York that is going to affect schools, public libraries.
She says $100 million budget cut, but doesn't mention any ratio or measurement along with that. Everyone knows who's educated that you have to put a measurement. 50 meters, 50 yards? In this case, $50. We kind of knew what she meant based on the context, but it just shows the lack of education, which speaks to her voting for Biden to begin with.
Libraries and the police department. Y'all know I don't talk about the cops, but it is what it is. There's going to be an $120 million budget cut with schools, with the libraries and the cops and the police department. And a $5 million...
Wait, I thought you wanted to, defund the police. Well, I digress.
Budget cut in sanitation. Of a budget cut in sanitation. We're going to be drowning with rats. We're going to be drowning in fucking rats.
Hey, remember what happened in Baltimore when Trump mentioned that? I think it was when Trump mentioned about the rats in Baltimore. And they got on him about that. But the fact is, the mayor herself was on TV in a news interview talking about the rats and saying how bad it smelled in Baltimore.
What the hell? We should just take all this down. Ooh, you can smell the rats.
These people just have a short-term memory, and just the lack of education and understanding about anything is really ridiculous. And they still continue to vote for Democrats. Come on, man.
So we are going to be having a budget cut on this, mind you. And this is why I said this is why I'm telling y'all, I'm not this year. Don't ask me. I don't give a the resume that they send. I'm not endorsing no presidents no more. Because how is that?
Because you look stupid when you do.
$100 million budget cut in New York City for schools, library, police safety, and sanitation. Yeah, Joe Biden's talking about we could fund two wars. My talking about we don't got it, but we got it. We're the greatest nation. No, we're not. We're going through some right now. Say it. We're really going through. We really are right now.
It's interesting because Cardi B is worth a lot of money, and here she is. I like the fact that she's bringing this up. I know I was basically being down on her, but I have to give her credit for speaking this on public in front of her millions of followers, because she has all this money, yet she understands, at least at the biggest picture, that there's more things at stake other than entertainment and our lives with trinkets and our comforts. That is what she's understanding. She tends to have, or she seems to have, understanding about the regular person. And I must give her credit for that. And I do appreciate this video that she made because it's going to wake up many, many people. And this isn't just about voting for Trump, which I think he's really our only choice. Because if we really think about it, the Democrats are bad. We know they're gone. But the Republicans aren't much better. They really aren't better. So That being said, she's on point about not endorsing anybody, but I think she is secretly, in some ways, thinking that Trump may be the way. Because, like, again, Michael Rapaport, the main guy, one of the main guys, who was totally out of control, anti-Trump, even he said recently, hey, you know what?
Is on the table. I'm sorry.
It's on the table that I may consider voting for Trump over Biden because Biden is doing such a horrible job. Let's keep going.
$120 million. Like, where these kids are gonna go? Like, I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm whatever. But like, what's gonna happen to my nieces? What's gonna happen to my nephews? What's gonna happen to my cousins, my aunts, my friends? That's living in the hood. The hood, like my like, I don't give a fuck if I live in Jersey. I'm from the Bronx. I don't want to see my affected. The Bronx, Brooklyn, it's gonna affect the whole New York. 120 million budget cut on schools, libraries, police department, and sanitation. New York is already super dirty. Like, yo, you know what's embarrassing? Like, it's like, you know, like, I know people from California, I know people from Atlanta, so I always be like, yeah, New York is the greatest place in the world. Yeah, they be like, New York is dirty, and it is dirty, and we're gonna get even dirtier with the budget cut. And yeah, we talking about we could fund 2 wars. That's like a trying to front, like, yeah, I got the money to support 2 wars, but you really don't.
Check this out. Now, typically, really, the United States is really the only country in the world who at one point could take 2 major fronts and be successful. I mean, if you look at World War II, that was something that had never really been done in terms of warfare, taking on 2 major fronts, the Pacific and the European front, and essentially winning both of those. See what happened with Napoleon when he tried that. You see what happened with Hitler when he tried that. It didn't work out too well for those guys, but America has that ability. And now we're at a weakened state, and I don't think we have that ability as much anymore because we have given everything out to everyone else, and we're not manufacturing a home and the whole nine. And the thing I like about Cardi B is, even though I don't agree with her music, her lyrics, or anything like that, I do like the fact that she's compassionate and she's passionate about issues. And she understands at a high level, look, I'm blessed, I have all this money, but what's gonna happen to my nieces, my nephews, and all that, the people who are living in the hood? What's going on with them? Which speaks to another thing altogether as to who's accountable for making that happen, right? It's the elected officials, it's those guys. And lastly, in terms of these wars, who is the person that actually got us out of wars, and who is the person that she totally dogged out prior to this election, and that was Trump. So I'm wondering secretly if she's wondering, you know what, Trump would be a much better option at this point.
Y'all talk about y'all don't make negotiation with the odds. Well, y'all need to sit down with these people and find agreement. No, we cannot fund these wars. We can't. Keep it a bean. We can't. Like, y'all doing budget cuts on the biggest city in the United States. Somebody said, Cardi, look behind. Stop playing with me. This is getting out of hand.
She's talking to someone on the chat.
We're really going, they don't want to say the word, but we're going through a recession right now. We really, really, really are. And Major Eric said it. There is a budget cut going on in New York. And little by little, it's going to go in your states. Okay.
She's right. At some point in time, it's going to hit you. And that's the thing that people don't understand, is that it's going to hit you eventually. You can talk all this stuff. You can do all these things in terms of have these principles. Okay, we can have open borders. We can have people come in. We can have this. We can be soft on crime. But what happens when that crime comes to you? What happens when those people come into your neighborhood and do things that are against your value system? What happens when these people who come into your areas suck up all the money for goods and services, which require them to raise more taxes, which requires the standard of living to go down further in many different areas, and yet that happens, and somehow these people still don't somehow connect the dots, which is what's amazing. And that's why I think people like Cardi B who say things like this is really helpful, because you know, they say the saying where it says a clock is right at least 2 times a day. Sometimes people like Cardi B say things that are 100% accurate, and she is 100% accurate here. And let's just keep going.
I told myself this week, like, yo, the internet right now is too dark, because Celebrity drama, of course, we love it. We infuse with it. We watch it. But it's like, yo, that's little of what's really going on in the world right now. That's nothing compared to what's going on in the world right now. The world is in shambles.
What's interesting about her is she's looking at things in terms of policy. How many celebrities do you see actually are looking at policy issues? And I think she's doing that. So what are your thoughts on this reaction here with Cardi B? And do you think that people are going to wake up, or they're going to continue doing what they do? And also, what's your thoughts of what New York's going to look like after 6 or 7 months of these $120 million budget cuts? Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.